Hello guys, welcome back to the Benchwarmers episode 17. We're talking all things football today. Yes, I know what you're thinking. We're covering last weekend's fixtures basically, because I know there are games on Tuesday and Wednesday, but we're going to just cover last weekend because, time of recording, it's not really happened yet, so work with us guys. Anyways, the first episode we're going to cover, right, is Man City versus Liverpool. Obviously Liverpool won 2-0. What are your thoughts, Matt?
Well, my instant thoughts, right? If Salah isn't winning Ballon d'Or for his performance this season, then it must be rigged or something. Because, he showed up again against City, arguably a lacklustre-looking City, aren't they? He scored, he assisted, Szoboszlai?
Yeah.
Great game from him, and obviously Liverpool are now extending the lead even further from Arsenal, who also lost on the weekend, so...
Yeah, no, I think you're right. For me, Mohamed Salah is probably the best player in the Premier League at the moment, alongside maybe like Isak, someone like that. But, back onto Liverpool for a minute, they couldn't do anything wrong in that game, could they? They were absolutely dominated Man City. And I think it is just a lack of injuries for them, for Man City, and sort of running out of ideas a little bit. But Liverpool, what could you say about Salah? Do you really think he will get the Ballon d'Or?
Well, the Ballon d'Or race this season, right? It's going to be him. It's going to be, Raphina or Mbappé if he continues his form. And quite frankly, I know Rafinha's having like a 40 goal and assist season at the moment, but so is Salah. It all depends on who wins the better trophy, I reckon. So if Liverpool can go and win Champions League and the Prem, I reckon Salah's got it in the bag. But again, if Barcelona win the Liga and win Champions League, then Rafinha probably has it. So it's just to see who wins on trophies.
It all depends on how many trophies you win. If you win the Champions League, you're guaranteed to basically get it on.
Well, a good test to see who's going to win, right? Newcastle, Liverpool for Carabao Cup. Finals coming up.
Yeah, that's a good game.
That is a good game. And obviously we have beaten Liverpool in the past. And also it's a final, so we have a chance to get a trophy again. So we can make it difficult for Liverpool, but if Salah wins it and Liverpool win that game, then I'd reckon it's a good testament to him getting the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, because if Salah carries on scoring and assisting the way he is, maybe getting 40-something goal contributions this whole season, I think he probably will be in contention to get the Ballon d'Or. But moving forward to Liverpool, do you think they are going to win the league, do you reckon, Matt?
I reckon it's in the bag.
They're 11 points ahead, aren't they?
Let's be honest. Crazy. Let's be honest. Who the hell is challenging them this season? I think this has been arguably one of the most boring seasons, but one of the most exciting seasons, because game-wise and standing-wise, right, the table is, exciting to watch, because you've got Forest, you've got Bournemouth, you've got Newcastle making runs, all these smaller teams that you would say are underrated, they're doing really well this season. But then the title race this season, where has anyone else been but Liverpool? Arsenal,
yeah, right.
Arsenal have been nowhere, and I guarantee that's just because they haven't bought any attacking threat or anything this season.
So you don't think Arsenal can catch up?
There's no chance.
No
chance they're coming back. Not with 3 months left, and Liverpool already 11 points ahead. Do you really expect Liverpool to lose 11 points before Arsenal can even get a run of form going?
No, for me, I think it is they're going to regret not buying anybody in January, and the lack of injuries as well, because they haven't got a striker. They haven't got one striker at all. They're playing Marino as a second striker, false nine type position, and yes, he did score 2 goals, but he's not. Well, he scored 2 goals recently against somebody, but he's not going to do that every single week, is he? He's not. You can't rely on him to score your goals. And even Havertz is injured as well, isn't he, for the rest of the season? You got Saka out as well. So for me, I just think Liverpool. It's sort of Liverpool's Premier League to lose at this point in time. So yeah, I think Arsenal aren't going to do it. Man City are nowhere near it. Someone I don't know who else is there. Nottingham Forest.
The closest person. No, but literally the closest person who could possibly win it is Nottingham Forest, because they've been the only team who looks more like a title contender than Arsenal and City combined.
Yeah, we'll have to get onto their game in a minute, Matt. Against Newcastle, obviously they did lose 4-3, didn't they? But one last quick question I wanted to ask you: what does this game mean to Man City? How will this impact the rest of their season? Do you think they'll just finish top 4 and sort of concentrate on the Champions League a little bit more? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's interesting, right? I think Pep said in the post-game interview, if he was with any other team on the form he is now, he would have been sacked already.
Yeah.
So the fact he's on City and he hasn't lost his job shows how much loyalty the club has with him.
I've also just realised Man City aren't in the Champions League, are they? They lost to Real Madrid.
Yeah, they've been knocked out.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. You know, I always love seeing City get kicked out of the Champions League because
Yeah.
it's just more exciting.
Sorry, you carry on.
And then also like I think Pep. It wasn't Pep. It was on Twitter. I saw a post recently. There was like all the players that are potentially being transferred out this summer. You got the likes of Gundogan, you got the likes of De Bruyne, Edison, you got Stones, you got all the old City players who are like the absolute legends of that team who have won them everything. They're all potentially being transferred out this year.
They need a massive rebuild, don't they?
They do need a
They don't
reboot.
really have that many world-class players. You could say, just because you've got Haaland who will probably stay, that most definitely.
Oh, Haaland's got a 10-year contract, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. You got Marmoush, who's
okay.
He's just come into the league. You wouldn't class him as world-class, would you, at this moment in time? You've got players like, who else is there? John Stones, who probably will start at the club.
And you got Rico Lewis, who's
Rico
right.
Lewis. He's not world-class level, though, is he?
Nah.
So maybe you got Rodri. So you got 1 or 2, 3 probably world-class players, but the rest you need to reinvest that money into some new young players, don't you? As well, I'd say.
I'd say so, yeah. And especially if they're going to be selling all their old players, you gotta help and think like, if that happens, do you see them as a mid-table team next season or potentially the season after? Because let's be honest, if they continue on this form, right, Pep's job is going to be questioned. Like, if he's still there when they're losing this much, he's going to be in serious questioning for getting rid of. And a new coach would bring in new players, and the whole team dynamic would change. Everything would change. All the players would have to get used to it. So they're not going to instantly be a title-charging team, like, regardless of what happens.
I think it just depends who they get rid of and who they keep and whatnot, because if you've still got De Bruyne there next year, you've still got Haaland, you've still got Rodri, if he hopefully comes back and he's still as good as he was before his injury, I still think they'll get a top 4. I don't think Pep will get sacked anytime soon. I think your statement is a bit far-fetched at the moment. I can't really see it. So I think they will get a top 4 this season and next season. But other than that, I don't think they'll be challenging for a good couple of years, because especially with Liverpool dominating like they are
Is that
this
better
year.
for the sport though if they're not dominating?
Yes, because they've been doing it for a good 4 or 5 years now.
So who's taking their place then? It's not going to be Arsenal.
I think Liverpool. I think either Liverpool or Arsenal. Other than that, I couldn't see anybody else.
Yeah, but no,
If
the
Arsenal get a
title fight
striker-
for the next few years, if City aren't in it, it's going to be so boring because Arsenal are bottle jobs. They're never going to get there.
If Arsenal get a striker, they'll do it.
If Arsenal get a striker who isn't injured, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, if they got, say, Isak or someone in the summer, and then, next year they didn't have any injuries and they had their whole starting team, then yes, maybe they can get a title charge going. But historically, Arsenal aren't good at title charges because they always lose it in the final half of the season.
Okay. I think we should move on to our next game because it sort of ties in with Isak. Obviously, Newcastle won 4-3 against Nottingham Forest. You sort of started off a little bit slow, didn't you? You conceded the first goal. Great goal by Callum Hudson-Odoi, by the way. And then, in the second half, like 10 minutes after, maybe 5-10 minutes after, you sort of just started to dominate a bit more, started scoring goals for fun, didn't you?
It wasn't in the second half, it was first half.
Oh, well, that's what I meant.
We
first
scored
half,
all 4 goals in the first half.
Yeah, 10 minutes after in the first half, you started scoring straight away. And then it was second half, you sort of fell away, didn't you?
Yeah, well, first half, right. I just want to say this. Lewis Hall, obviously, I think top 3 left-backs in the league right now.
Okay.
I mean,
it's interesting.
Outstanding performance from him, and he's obviously still young and in his first year with us. But he assisted Lewis Miley, who's also been doing quite well.
He's very good, isn't he?
So we got 2 great young players on our team, and they'll link up to get that first goal, brilliant. And then second goal, I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Jacob Murphy. Messi goal, by the way. I don't know how that happened. I think it was another cross from Hall.
Messi goal, but it just got in it.
It went in. I'm not fussed about. I'm not fussed about how it went in. I'm just. I still think from an outside view that was a bit of a messy thing, but can't complain. And then another one, Hall's about to cross it in, so he's on for his like 3rd assist of the game nearly, but it gets off the hand of I think it was Aina, and we get a penalty, and then that Isak penalty. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Where he just blasted. Well, he didn't even blast it. He just like chipped it at Sells, and Sells. I don't know what he was doing.
He scored 2 dodgy-ish goals.
It describes us perfectly. You know, we score dodgy goals, and I don't know how or why.
you just about managed to get the game over the line, didn't you? Like that one for me, right? Lewis Miley, his goal was very good. I think he's a fantastic player, but it's sort of difficult to get into the Newcastle midfield because you've got 3 excellent midfielders. You know, Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton, and
Joe Linton's out on
Tonelli.
injury, I think, for a bit.
Oh, is he?
That's why
he's playing. And I suppose now that he's injured, it sort of gives him a little bit of a chance, a bit of a leeway to sort of get some more minutes in there because that goal he scored for the equaliser was fantastic.
Yeah, but Joe Linton's coming back from injury, so he'll be back in the team hopefully.
Is it only for like a few weeks?
Yeah, it wasn't that much major of an injury.
I think for me the main talking point in this game is Isak scoring the 2 goals because I think he's on like 19 or 20 goals now this season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and obviously racking up to his like 50th Premier League goal.
Yes.
Doing it in 76 games, meaning Salah, like Haaland, and a few others are only above him. So he's like in the top 5 to get 50 goals in the Prem.
And he scored 2 goals in like 2 minutes. It was absolutely insane. Is he one of the best strikers in the Premier League?
Easily, yes.
Yeah?
I don't think you even have to be a Newcastle fan to say Isak is probably the best striker in the league at the moment. Like, who else is there other than Woods?
Haaland.
Where has Haaland been?
Haaland?
Where has he been?
He has been out for a few games, hasn't he?
No, I'm sorry. If Haaland was doing well and he was one of the best in the league, he would have got at least a few more goals this season. But he hasn't.
He scored
even in that City team, he still should have more than what he's got.
Yeah, no, I think I do agree. It's just for me, with Haaland and Isak, that whole player debate, I think it just comes down to preference because Haaland he's sort of a machine, you know what I mean? He just scores goals for fun.
He's a system player.
There's no denying that. He just scores goals for fun, but so does Isak. But then it's sort of like Isak, his overall game is a lot better than Haaland for me.
I also feel I also feel like Isak can play in different positions than Haaland because Haaland is like pass him the ball, and then he'll just run straight and shoot. But we can play Isak on the left wing. He can come in like an inverted winger almost.
And he can dribble.
He can play striker. He can play false 9. He can dribble. He can shoot. What can't he do as an attacker? And I think that's the difference between him and Haaland.
Okay then. Next question for me then on Isak. How long will he stay at Newcastle? Will he leave in the summer, do you reckon?
I hope he never leaves, I'll be completely honest. We've put 200 mil price tag on him. If that doesn't scare away clubs, I don't know what will. The only teams I can see him being bought by for that price is like Real Madrid or someone like Liverpool if they win the league.
Yeah, I think it's either Arsenal or Liverpool for
Arsenal are not going to get him. I'm telling you now, he's not going to go to Arsenal.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe, in January, potentially, they might have thrown a big money move out there for Isak, but they just didn't do it. They needed a striker really, really bad. We've all known this for a good year or two.
I think
Arsenal need a striker.
I think their mistake for Arsenal, right, is they missed out on signing Tony when he went to Saudi. If they signed Tony, they would have been fine. They were a bit clueless in their transfer window. They didn't buy a striker. They bought. I don't even know who they bought. I don't think they bought anyone of value.
I don't know if it was Havertz in that season. I'm not too sure.
It might have been Havertz. But even then, that just proves my point. Why are you buying Havertz, who is more of a cam almost, than Tony, who's an out-and-out striker?
Yeah, no, you're right. Because they tried to sign Tony. That didn't really work out. They threw in a 45 million bid for Ollie Watkins this is January, and that's just so silly.
That seemed like a lowball offer as well.
He's worth at least 60 to 80 million at least, Ollie Watkins. But no, I feel like they've sort of missed their opportunity for Isak now because I think it will be between Liverpool or even like around Madrid, someone like that.
Well,
Madrid don't even need him because they've got Mbappé. But I think it will be Liverpool, especially if they win the league. I could see them going out splashing probably like 80 plus million on Isak.
Well,
I think that will do the job.
Just like you were saying, right, where would he go? I reckon if we get Champions League, right, because 5th place in the standings now is Champions League qualification or something. So if we get 5th or 4th, right, I reckon Isak will stay with us because he just wants to play Champions League football. But I'm saying if we don't get that and we get Europa, if he really wanted to, I reckon he might consider his options to go for a team who's in Champions League instead of playing Europa League.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I think the season we're having, if we could just continue winning these games and just keep a decent run of form, I reckon we can get Champions League and, we keep him and Guimaraes as well, because I know Guimaraes has been Like, I think there's a thing in his contract saying if we don't get qualification for Champions League, he can move teams if he wants.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't really think about that. Maybe he might leave as well. He might leave both his star players. Anyways, one last quick question about this game, just a yes or no answer. Will Nottingham Forest finish in top 5 this season? Will they get Champions League? Yes or no? Just quick fire.
Yes, because who else is competing to their level?
Aston Villa?
No, you're not.
Chelsea?
No, they're not. Chelsea's on the verge of
Bournemouth?
sacking Maresca.
Bournemouth?
No, I don't think Bournemouth. Well, they're 7th now.
Okay, fine.
I mean, you never know because fourth place to 8th place? They're all within 3 points.
Yeah.
So you never know. One of them could, but
okay. I want to move on to our third and final game. God, I can't speak.
Yeah, the worst game of the weekend.
Yeah, Brighton 4-0 against Southampton. What is going on with Southampton? They just can't catch a win to save their life, can they, Matt?
Well, it's quite simple, really. What's wrong with them? Everything. Their entire team is just god awful.
Nah, there are a few decent players in there.
You say that, right? But seriously, where have any of them been this season? They're sitting on 9 points. You can't tell me they have star players when they all play like trash.
Well, no, I wouldn't say star players. I just think if you put a few of them out of their team and put them into a different team, they would play a little better.
Oh, like who?
That's all I'm saying. You know, okay, you've got Aaron Ramsey, Aaron Ramsdale. You've got Tyler Dibbling, their star player, their academy player. He'll definitely leave. He's been linked to RB Leipzig, Aston Villa, Tottenham, all these clubs. You've got the academy, Man City academy centre back Taylor Harwood Bellis. He's actually half decent. If you let's say if Margehi leaves Crystal Palace, I could see him signing for Crystal Palace potentially. I reckon he'll do half decent there.
And do you really think any of those teams, right, are going to sign any of those Southampton players after the season they've just had?
It happens a lot. You'd be surprised.
No, I know it happens a lot, but are any of their performances convincing enough for you to say, oh yeah, we'll go sign him instead of keeping our arguably better player?
They have moments where they look all right, okay. In that 4-0 game, right, it should have been 2-0 really because they conceded 2...
I don't think it should have. It should have been 6-0.
No, okay, yes, but they conceded 2 silly goals where it's just bad defending. If you in a better team with better players around you, surely you'll do better, and surely you wouldn't concede those type of goals.
Yeah, well, your argument just there, if they were in a better team with better players around you, does that just show the absolute massive gap that Championship teams have to Premier League teams?
Yeah, especially with all the money all these Premier League sides reinvesting in their squads these days. Sort of Championship teams that get promoted can't really keep up with them. There's a massive gap between 20th and 17th, it looks like these days, because Wolves are 17th, and there's a massive gap between them and someone like Ipswich, because they've actually got some half-decent players. I think they've just had a difficult start to the season, Wolves, haven't they? So it is a bit of a different gap.
I think the only team that's probably a bit lackluster this season you would have expected to do better from was Leicester. Because Leicester have been a Prem team for a while, and obviously they won the Premier League just under 10 years ago.
But they're just lacking all their players. All their players left. They've still got Jamie Vardy, but
Jamie Vardy is like a grandpa these days. He's reaching the age where he should be considering going to join Ronaldo or something.
He's still scoring goals though, isn't he, Jamie Vardy?
He's still scoring goals, but let's be honest, he needs to go join Saudi or something.
Yeah. I feel like Southampton will definitely get relegated now. It's definitely out.
They're not coming back from 9 points.
It's definitely off the table, isn't it? There's no way back for them. It's off the table, and then you've got Ipswich potentially might do it. But I feel like the bottom 3 now will probably just stay the same because I can't see Wolves getting relegated. I can't see Man United get relegated. I can't see.
Although we would love. It would be the funniest thing ever if Man United got relegated.
Yeah.
It would be so funny if they got relegated, but that's never going to happen.
The first time in their history to ever get relegated.
It would be such
crazy.
A funny story to witness. But
could you imagine the other top 5 teams in the Premier League? All their fans would be going absolutely crazy. It would be so funny.
I think the entire league would be going crazy. The only ones who wouldn't be going crazy, well, they still would be going crazy, but for the wrong reasons, is their own fans. Do you reckon? I reckon we'd see rioting in the streets and that entire club burning down if they went relegated.
Just move on quickly. One last question then about this Brighton game. They've got a lot of strikers scored. They've got 2 or 3 really good strikers, haven't they? João Pedro, is it Ruta? I'm pretty sure that French guy from Leeds has signed this season. They scored some decent goals. Where do you think Brighton will finish this season, just roughly? I think they're ninth at the moment in the league. They're only 4 points off top four. Do you reckon
I reckon
they can make it? Or
I reckon they'll stay the same where they are. It'll be 8th, 9th or 10th for them.
Yeah, just a half decent season.
I mean, compared to what, 2 years ago where they were... I think they were competing for Europe.
Yeah, no, that definitely was.
But I think this season they just lost their form, and I think they've been a mid-table team this entire season, so I reckon they'll just stay there anyway.
Okay, and do you think it was the right move for Matoma to stay in the Premier League and not move to Saudi?
Well, that's a bit of a stupid question. Why would you ever want to go to Saudi? I know John Duran did, but he had his reasons.
Oh, let's not talk about him. I'm still so upset about that he left.
Yeah, but he's what? He was 21, right? He's going for 2 years. He's making a load of money, and then he's going to most likely come back. So,
yeah.
I don't know how old Matoma is.
I think he's like 27, 28.
So he's still pretty young. I think staying in the Prem is probably anyone's better guess and like better bet. Because if you stay in the Prem, you got chance for like success in Europe. You got higher money most likely, unless you do sign like a massive wage for a Saudi team. So I think he's probably done the right decision, unless if they fall off even more next year.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I feel like the Premier League is obviously the best league in the whole of football in the world for me. I would always stay in the Premier League if I was ever a football player. I don't know why you would ever want to leave this competition, this league. There's so much drama and controversy and so much competition. I think
the all-round quality as well is just so much better. Like, look at...
Yeah.
I just want to bring up a prime example because I just find this a hilarious story, right? Anthony, Man United, right? God-awful, worst player on that team. Everyone was mocking him. Absolutely dreadful. Moves to La Liga, joins Betis, man of the match twice. He's already got 3 goals, and he's doing much better than he was at United. I don't understand how the Premier League's like skill gap or quality is that like great between these leagues. That Anthony, who was arguably one of the worst players in that league, is now one of La Liga's like top performers.
The whole Anthony transfer situation, him playing really well at the moment, sort of confuses me because he was so bad at Manchester United. It just didn't work out whatsoever. But you can say the same thing for so many players at Manchester United over the recent
something's wrong with that
5 to
team.
10 years. Like, it hasn't worked out for a lot of wingers in that league. So I'm not really that surprised that it's sort of working out in a new league for a new team under new tactics, under new players, and you know what I mean. I can see it because at Ajax he was a talented player. There was a player in there with Anthony, so I'm sort of slightly surprised. I feel like he won't come back to Manchester United now, will he? I think he will.
I mean, Juventus is trying to get Anthony now for next season.
Oh, really, Juventus?
Yeah. So if I was Anthony, I'd be like, do I really want to go back to 15th in the table United, or do I want to go to one of the top teams in Serie A?
Well, yeah, I don't think Juventus are having a great time.
Oh, they're not having a great season this year, but
I think that's probably a better move than Manchester United. Most definitely, you could challenge him for the Serie A every season, so might as well.
Do you think then that his case, and obviously you got other cases like Rashford and all the other United players? Do you reckon if any footballer, right, if their agent came to them and say, "Oh yeah, we got multiple offers for you," the one paying the most and is the one that we think is good for you, is Man United? If you were that player, right, who got Man United as an offer on the table, would you look and say, "Oh yeah, I want to go there"? Because you've seen all these players, right? Star players, they go to United and then they just get absolutely awful. Would you think like United's going to struggle to find these top transfers nowadays?
I would say it's always a tricky one because it's a yes and no, because you would join the club from the rich history of the club. And probably from a money perspective, you probably are earning a lot more than you would in other clubs lower in the league, maybe. But from a playing perspective, it would be a no. It's only a yes from like a financial perspective for me. At this moment in time, it's always a bit tricky because I would rather join a team where you sort of getting the most minutes, enjoying your football, playing well, competing. If you join Man United, you're not competing for nothing really at the moment, are you? You're competing to stay in the league, and that's it.
You're competing to break into top 10 most seasons.
But yeah.
I feel like that. I feel like that entire team is like living it off their history. Because let's be honest, these past 10 years, they've been a mid-table team. I think their fans and their entire, like, their organisation as a whole, they live off the success they had in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they haven't really done anything. They've had one good 2 seasons under Jose Mourinho and Luis van Gaal, but other than that, maybe even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They've had half decent seasons, but nothing compared to the title-winning teams they had years ago, and it's just really annoying to see for fans.
But have you not seen it on social media, right? I don't know if it was the owners or if it was just some of the higher-ups in United. They're now blaming Sir Alex Ferguson for the current situation that they're in.
Oh, well, really? Why? That's a bit strange.
It is strange. But again, that just sums up the entire organisation as a whole.
Yeah.
They're living off the success of the past. They're doing terribly now. And now they're going back and blaming the people who brought them that success.
Now, surely you'd blame the owners at the top, not running your club properly. But I feel like maybe, we've spoke about that quite a lot recently. I feel like maybe we should move on to a quiz, just to end the episode. Do you want to end the episode off on a quiz, maybe, Matt?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. So this quiz, right, it's a new one for us. So this quiz is all based on choosing players who played for 2 different teams, and I've chosen teams from the games at the weekend. So the first one will be, can you name players who played for both Newcastle and Nottingham Forest? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Matt? Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, you understand? Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got on my list here 6 different players. If you can name half of them, if you can name 3, you can get a point.
So I have to name 3 players that played for both teams?
Yeah. From this list that I've got.
All right.
Right, okay, so starting off then. 3, 2, 1, name me a player who played for Nottingham Forest and Newcastle.
What, so I name 3 players then?
Yeah.
Well, John Joe Shelby.
Okay.
Well, Anderson.
Yeah.
And Chris Wood.
Oh, wow, okay, that was quite easy.
Quite easy, that.
Okay, never mind. I did give you those answers earlier, though, didn't I? I did help you out before the podcast started.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. I just knew that.
Okay. 2 more teams then. Can you name me players who played for both Man City and Liverpool? I've got quite a few on my list, so it's up to you.
Right.
I've got 7 or 8 players on my list here.
7 or 8?
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
You really got to think about this.
Quite a few old players.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot more old than new.
There's only 2 current players on this list, to be fair. The rest have retired.
Great. Okay. Well, give me a hint for the old ones.
Old ones?
Like what period?
When they won the league, there's a player on this list. It's a very controversial player, but they won the league. And it was when they won the league at QPR, he assisted them. That's a good clue. That's a really good clue.
Balotelli's one.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. One there. Can you name 2 more?
I'm going to get flamed for not knowing these, aren't I?
This guy's known, this guy's known for his signature celebration. One of these guys, he's played for 3 Premier League big clubs here. He's known for his celebrations.
Sturridge?
Yeah, there you go, Daniel Sturridge. Do you want to do a little...
Sturridge played for City?
Yeah, no, he started off Man City.
See, that's why I didn't get it.
Do you want to do a little Daniel Sturridge celebration?
No, I do not want to do a Sturridge celebration.
Okay. Can you name one more? He's a current player.
Current?
Yeah.
Is he in their starting lineup? Well, which team is he in now?
But he's played for both. I mean, he's on loan at a different club.
So which club is he at now?
Arsenal. Look at his thinking face. Sterling, there you go.
There you go.
I don't think I should give you a point for that.
No, don't give me a point. My brain is literally not working.
So you got 1 out of 2 at the moment, and then this one here. This one might be a little bit harder because if you didn't get those 2, you're not going to get these 2.
My brain is not working this afternoon. Leave me be.
Can you name me players who play for both Arsenal and West Ham? I've got...
No, Declan Rice is an obvious one.
Say that again, sorry?
Declan Rice.
Yep, ding, ding, ding. 2 more. I've got another 4 or 5 players on my list. Another 2 I need.
Wilshere.
Yep. I told him earlier.
You gave me that one earlier.
Yep.
I'll take it.
1 more.
Gonna be clueless for the rest of them.
I've got 4 more players I can think of on my list. Goalkeeper, Polish.
Fabianski.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding.
The thing is, I can't even remember when Fabianski played for Arsenal.
Yeah. No, but I think he came through the academy sort of thing as well. He played there for a good 3 or 4 years. I don't know how many points I should give you for that, Matt, because I sort of did help you out. I reckon I should give you 1 out of 3.
Give me 1.5.
1.5, fine, you get 1.5. We've never done half points before, I'm pretty sure.
No.
But I'll give it just for you. Yeah, this episode's been 30 minutes, Matt, so I think this is where we should probably end it off. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sounds about right.
We've done a good chat today. We've chatted all things Premier League, all things football. I've really enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. Do you think Salah will win the Ballon d'Or? Where do you think Liverpool will finish? Man City, Nottingham Forest, all this sort of stuff. Please follow us, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our socials. Check out our Instagram, check out our TikTok. And yeah, we'll see you again for another episode. Peace out.